stragglers, but they can catch up. So thank you for coming tonight. My name is Amy Smith, and I run a company called Social Media Smith. Making great use of branding with a really dull name like Smith. For years I've been a technical writer and a content strategist at Fidelity and IBM. And while I was at IBM, I became very interested in social media. IBM was like really a forerunner in corporate social media, and how they and IBM was one of the first companies to have very clear and fairly free-thinking social media guidelines for its employees. And that's why I learned a lot there. And I also taught social media for organizations at Northeastern University in their College of Professional Studies. I taught 2 classes there. And I learned there of some very interesting things. My students were from all over the world. I've taught online. I never saw anybody in real time in a classroom, but it was all online. But my students had to have a class project for the two classes. There was planning a social media strategy and implementing a social media strategy. And the class assignments would build up to their plans. Well, they always picked companies like Toyota, Disney, companies that had large digital strategy teams, right? And probably it was kind of challenging for them to get the information they needed sometimes. And I would encourage them to go to the hairstylist down the street, or the restaurant, or the cafe, and they'd have a great project for their portfolio because small businesses need all the help they can get. That never took off. So I thought that small businesses were really an underserved market, and that's the focus of my work. So, and that's what I want to talk about tonight. You're getting kind of a condensation of my class at Northeastern and my class at Newburyport Adult Ed. And like my tagline though is really, it's about engaging and collaborating with your customers without losing your minds, because I'm very conscious that people are already stressed and wearing a lot of hats. So since we have a fairly small group, if you don't mind going around the room just real quickly saying what particularly interested you about this, because with a fairly smaller group I can maybe model the talk more about what you need. So let's start with you if you don't mind.
I'm a trustee of the 4-H camp in town, and we have a very strong group of people that are on social media. We have it's mostly kids. Yeah, it's kids though too, and we're doing pretty well right now. But we'd like to stay on top of our game. You know what I mean? We don't want. And there's also the hope that we have a positive image. Because social media can cut both ways, and so I think we want to try to stay engaged with the youth, because that's who we serve, and be able to get our word out and keep people engaged throughout the year. It's a summer camp, so we want to kind of keep people engaged throughout the year, and through social media, that's possible. So.
And are you the person stuck with doing the social media?
I am not. I'm actually in the building committee, but I live in town, so I told them I'd go. And this is not my wheelhouse. I don't even have a Facebook account, so.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna try to gather as much as I can and bring it back to my people.
Okay.
So.
Well, be sure to take one of my cards too.
Okay, absolutely will.
Hi, Sally. Hi. I moved everybody kind of over here because I have to stand over here. Yeah. So, it's hard to. I don't want to. Okay, great. Well, thank you for coming. How are you?
I'm Sue Daigle. I'm the owner of Georgetown Massage. We're going into our 15th year. I was pretty much ahead of the curve with knowing as soon as the internet came out, got our account, Facebook, that whole type of thing. There's Georgetowns in every state, and we do own GeorgetownMassage.com. So I got there ahead of time.
Good for you.
However, I'm starting to feel that I'm on a bus and the speeding trains are going past me. I want to figure out how to capture, I know how to capture my own age group, but I need to start I'm not involved with the parents anymore because I've reached, my kids are grown and stuff. How do I reach the other, like the millenniums and a little bit older?
Okay. All right. So it's more age group as opposed, well, that's it relates to platform, but okay.
Yeah, and even some teens, because we do all the services for teens and they're just not aware of it.
Okay, great. And we talked a little bit, you can tell everyone else.
My name is Lance. John and I are both representing Salisbury Community TV and Media Center. We're here to hope that an organization like yours, that our use of social media might have some applications for business and vice versa. We're just trying to learn more.
Okay, great.
Explain that.
And plus the church.
And also, the Regal West Church, we have a website and a new report, and we'd like to use it better to get more of our word out and events and raises out as well.
Great. Hi, Sally.
Hi, we're just introducing ourselves.
Yeah, and I just want to get an idea of like why people were interested in coming tonight.
Okay. All right, I'm Sally, and I already have attended the full series of Amy's classes, and it was great, but it was a year and a half ago, so I'm thinking things may have changed.
Yep.
I have an interior design business, and I'm very, very, very slowly launching it, and have just finally gotten into social media. So
Yay.
now that I know a little, I think more will sink in better.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's always good to like renew, like you said, you were like a kind of ahead of the curve, and now you need to like re-put yourself what's going on. Well, yes, the curve really went around and came back again, so yeah. But no, okay, great. Hi, come on in.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm encouraging everyone to sit on this side just because it's easier.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
I'm really beginner.
And we were just like going around, and I'm curious what brought you here. If you don't mind talking about that a little
I
bit.
come to the library every once in a while, and I saw this social media workshop, so I said, let me try to find out if I can get a little bit better at some of my business.
Excellent. And what's your business?
I do some renovation lending and consulting work for renovation financing.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. And do you just hanging, just came to see what was going on? Okay, great. All right. Well, you might find that you're probably more familiar with social media in some form than you realized. I use this a lot. I just think it still works. Some of these social media platforms are kind of gone by the wayside. The point of this is just to show you that social media, the whole point of social media and the various platforms, what they do for you, is just tasks and ways of communicating that you've always done, right? Pinterest is like a bulletin board. Reddit was like, funny comics or whatever. Tumblr is like a scrapbook. So I just wanted to remind people that these are not mysterious, arcane, virtual worlds of doom. These are actually platforms that are designed to help you accomplish something and accomplish things that you already want to do. The difference with social media, though, is, and I'll let you just drill down on that in a minute. This is an infographic of what happens on the internet in 60 seconds. Okay? More than 3 million things are shared on Facebook. 150 million emails are sent. There's more than 2.7 million YouTube views. Netflix, 70,000 people watch a video there. Instagram, 56,000 pictures alone. That's just in a minute. So the difference between our traditional marketing and sales tools, one of the differences is that things are happening a lot faster. They're delivering a lot more data, and it's so much more. Your reach is so much more widespread. And everyone's on the internet now. That's the thing too. But what I would like you to come and take away tonight is that I don't want you to think about like doing Twitter or doing Instagram. It's not about just being on Instagram, being on Facebook. The point of all the social media is for you to be social. It's for you to engage with people, with customers and families and coworkers and business partners. And that's another differential. It's like in the old days, you would put an ad out on in a newspaper. It's kind of one way. It's printed, you're done. You put an ad on the radio, you put an ad on TV, and that was it. But now, in social media platforms, there's engagement with people. You get to talk to them. You get to answer their questions. And I think one of the most annoying things I see on social media is this push, push, push. People treat social media platforms like a newspaper or like TV or like radio. And I think that's a huge, huge mistake. You're missing an opportunity, a big opportunity, to really reach out and engage with your communities. I think technology changes, social doesn't. It's really who you are and how you are with your customers. So, now Sally has heard the story already, but I think it's a really good illustration. This is me. I was in Turkey several years ago, and this is Bakir, a rug merchant. I was there with several friends, and one day we were in a shopping district, and we walked by his store, and he came out and all but pounced on us, and asked us if we wanted to buy rugs. And as a matter of fact, some people in our group did, but we wanted to have lunch first. So Bakir whisked us down the street to a little restaurant that he said belonged to his cousin, whether or not. But he ordered for us. He regaled us with stories about his family, and then we were done. He whisked us back up to his store, where we were taken upstairs, private room, and we were given an in-depth history about of Turkish rugs. We were served Turkish coffee, an apple tea, and we were there for 3 hours. I did not buy a rug. 2 of my friends did. But it was an experience. And then when we were done, we had plans for dinner with him and his uncle, and he sent us back to our hotel in the company car. So now and of course part of that whole transaction too was the negotiation. And again, I wasn't actually part of it. I didn't buy a rug. But if you've ever been to the Middle East or many countries in the East, it's the negotiation, right? You have to barter, and that's a whole way of interacting and a whole way of engaging with people. Now, is this overkill? Yes. If an American vendor did this, I think we would think it would be a little bit over the top. We're all used to going to a store and just buying something. And I don't think all Turkish vendors are quite that full service. But wherever we went to shop, no matter what time it was, we were always offered tea. We were always offered coffee. And sometimes even lunch if it was that time of day. And I was always treated like I was part of the village and not a stranger. And the point here is that Bakir and his uncle want us to have a good experience. Ideally so we would buy from them, but also so that we might return and recommend his business to other people. And that's what like this social business and social engagement and being on social media is about. It's about building and managing relationships and community. So business by its very nature is social. But social media channels alone don't make you social. These tools extend your reach and your ability to engage with your community wherever you are. But it's the relationships with the people at the other end that are important. You know, every Facebook like has a person at the end of it. Every Instagram photo has a person at the end of it. So you have to be prepared to connect and communicate with them, those people. You want to provide the digital equivalent of offering someone coffee or tea. You know, you want to create the digital equivalent of the village. So the first part in all this is it's not even picking where you're going to be active, you know, what social media platform you're going to use. You have to understand what you're trying to accomplish. What are your business goals? That's why I kind of asked you why you were here, what you're trying to accomplish. Because that's going to help you determine how you're either going to implement your social media strategy, how you're going to develop or revamp it if need be. But so do you want to like get more millennials in? You want to stay in touch with your customers, right? You want to engage the Orthodox Church community a little bit more, maybe, or keep them up to date, things like that. Sally may want to get more customers in her design business. So it's really about the goals you're trying to accomplish with your business. It's not you want X number of likes or X number of tweets and X number of followers. That's a measurement of how you're engaging and how far your reach is going. But you want what you're trying to accomplish is a business goal. Does that make sense? Okay. And by the way, any other questions, stop me. It's easier that way. I mean, I'd rather you be interactive. Now, similarly, your customers, your community, I think communities actually, not always a customer. It could be churchgoers, right? That's a community. Business partners are a community. Clients are a community. Competition is a community as well. You need to understand who they are and then where you can find them online. And that's another way to understand where to be online, how to be on social media. For example, like if I don't mind picking you, Sally, let's exterior design. That screams Pinterest to me. Pinterest and house. If you know, Pinterest is really, if you're not familiar with that, it's really like it lets you create bulletin boards of ideas, and it's really like crack for people who are crafters and designers and craftspeople and cookers, cooks, things like that. And House is I would say, is a high-end social media channel that lets you review designs and things. I'm not on a lot. My husband is. I'm not. So for people who are looking for interior designers and interior design ideas, would be on those channels, right? If you're more in the in the news end, Twitter, right? A lot of journalists follow Twitter. Or, a lot of government people are on Twitter. Facebook is rapidly becoming sort of trying to be everything to everybody. So a lot of people are on Facebook, but there are also just very high specialty areas. But anyway, the point is, it's easier to go to where your constituents are.
I had a question on that Facebook. So a lot of people, like you say, to be everything to everybody on Facebook. So there's a personal Facebook and then a business Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So you try to differentiate your business with your personal?
I think it's a good idea. I think even with you've probably read about this. There's been a lot of changes in Facebook lately, but I would still say that's still true. And we're going to definitely review some of the tools. And I can show you the differences, but I would definitely have a business page or community or group, and just for that, and then you have your personal activity stream. Yeah. And we can talk. I can talk too about how you can make them totally separate, or you can link them. It's up to you. I find it easier to link them because I just don't want to have to log in and out all the time. But you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. And another good example is actually the real-time one. My hairstylist, she said, "Should I be on Twitter?" And I'm like, first, Shannon, you're behind a chair 8 hours a day. Twitter is very interactive. You know, you have to be like on it all the time. And like, that's not what there's no way she could be on it all the time. And second, that's not where her customers are. Her customers are on Facebook showing off their hair. So she's like, it's a Facebook group where people could post pictures of their new hairstyles, their haircuts, and more importantly, share them with other people, and their family, their followers on Facebook. Sorry, that's where I want to be. Yes, so I call this Web 1.0. This is like before social media. That still works. The central focus of your social media strategy should be a website. And I know it's very old-fashioned, but that is your virtual presence on the internet. All your social media should point to your website. Because you manage the website, you control what's on the website. Facebook is changing things all the time. And I've seen changes on Facebook business pages. Same with Twitter. Twitter's changing all the time too. So you don't want to be at their whim. Your website is what you control, what you manage, and it's like having an office on the internet. So I always tell people that, and they're kind of surprised. And there's a lot of debates about this. I see it in groups I'm on Facebook. They think it's old-fashioned, but it's really important. I recommend it. And I don't do websites, but if you're interested, I can recommend you some people who do. The other thing is email newsletters. I mean, they've been around since the Pleistocene age in terms of internet time, but they're still very effective. There's a lot of people who just want to get their information in their inbox. They don't want to work that hard, especially if you're a service kind of business. So they work great. Anything wrong with them? And you usually get fairly low cost to get in. You can reach a lot of people. You can tailor it, and you can automate a lot too. We'll talk about automating things later. So that those are two things you should keep in mind as part of your overall social media strategy. Well, I don't even think you should keep a website in mind. You should have one. Question?
Yeah, I was going to I use email. I've been doing it ever since got onto the online booking. I send out 2 emails every week telling people available times.
Hmm,
And we'll bring in at least 5 people with each email,
excellent.
which is good. It doesn't sound like a huge amount, but for us, that's 5 more that would have forgotten to call, or it's that tickler type of thing.
Yes. And these are new appointments or people that you're reminding that they have appointments?
No, it's people, they look at it and go, oh, she's got time on Tuesday. I need a massage this week.
Okay,
Or I need my facial, and Kendra's got time in it. So it's just that, it's that tickler, and even then, I can even track the phone calls that day
mm-hmm,
that will call, and what do you got, what have you got, what have you got? So
right.
it's just a tickler.
Good for you. Now, which email service do you use?
Well, we do an online booking.
Oh, so you use one associated with that, okay.
Right.
That's specialized for like massage, anesthetician, okay.
It is,
Yeah, I have an esthetician friend who uses that too.
yeah.
Okay. For people who like not to specialize, I can recommend MailChimp. That's there's Constant Contact, which is also very good. I'm on a nonprofit in New Hampshire, on the board of a nonprofit in New Hampshire, and actually I made the switch from Constant Contact to MailChimp because MailChimp is less expensive. It's free up until about 2,000 names, which is great for a nonprofit. So Constant Contact we're paying a lot every month. So for that reason alone, but MailChimp's easy to use. Anyway, I thought I'd put that out. No vested interest whatsoever. I'm just a happy customer. Tools. Okay, this can be a rabbit hole, so I'm going to go kind of quickly. We don't have a lot of time. Is there any? I'll cover Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. Is there any other questions? Any other tools people were interested in? I know YouTube was of interest to somebody. Anything else?
I have to know more about LinkedIn. Everybody's told me I should be LinkedIn, but do I have time? It does bring something into me.
LinkedIn, I feel, is better, is business, like a business to business kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, we can, let me take I queued some up. And we'll talk about, like, what on Facebook, the difference between a business page and a personal page. Let me make this bigger. LinkedIn has changed a lot. To me, it looks a lot like Facebook. So, like, I'll give you the context, like, of my business, like the Social Media Smith. I'm on here, and what I do is my profile's there. Let me see if I can find it right here. And one of the things I post here, I tend to post to show domain knowledge. My business is knowing things and being able to transmit that. And so I want to show that expertise, especially like in my peers. So that's what I do. On LinkedIn. I follow people who are like me. I follow my competition to see what they're doing. I kind of look around in the other companies I follow and see what their issues are. But I'm not really looking for customers here. Okay, it's really about me developing my own expertise and demonstrating it and learning more. So that's how I recommend using it. I don't think you're going to get a lot of customers.
Okay.
So. And it's not for everybody. But they're interesting. There are a lot of groups on here that are interesting too. You can network here too. For example, I just joined a group. We're doing a strategic plan for that nonprofit I was talking about. So there was a group on developing strategic plans for nonprofits. I'm like, oh, this is great. So you can learn a lot. I would use this more as something that for you, develop yourself business-wise, or person. Any questions?
What is that one?
This is LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is also now the main job hunting platform. I've heard that 85% of jobs are obtained on LinkedIn. Employers are skipping employment agencies more and more, and recruiters, and going right to LinkedIn. And a lot of people are just trying to find jobs on LinkedIn. So.
Oh.
Okay, Facebook. Okay, all the businesses in this room, does everyone have a Facebook page? Okay. Do you have a business page? Okay, great. So this is a business page. Oops, hello. Sorry. This is my business page. And what's different about it, and I'll just show you my page. Me as Amy Smith. This is my news feed. And this is me, personally. So when I log into Facebook, I log in once, and then I can get to my my own feed, and then I can see what pages I manage. I also manage the Friends of the Library page. So on a Facebook business page, it lets you get things like reviews. You can advertise services. In fact, there are several templates for business pages. You can be a nonprofit or a church. You can be a personality. You can be a brick and mortar store. You can be an online service. That's what I am. Yeah, so there's and then each template has like tabs that are kind of unique to that business. Okay. So the challenge with business pages right now is, and we'll talk a little bit about this, and if you want, before I forget, I'm going to pass around at the end of class a mailing list. I promise you I will only send you one email. You will not be signed up for everything. But I have some links to send you. There's some online tools that you might find very helpful. I'll talk about those in a little bit. Canva, which is great for creating graphics. And where to get like good stock images. And then I want to point to some good articles about the more detailed articles about the changes in Facebook that you might need to know. Just easier for me to send you an email rather than write out the links and try and put them in. So anyway, Facebook is all of a sudden very concerned about what's happening on it. Like, there's a lot of bots, a lot of trolls. Yes, the Russians did send a lot of bots in. So they're trying to make up for it now, and they want to encourage community and engagement, less advertising, less trolling. So I've been seeing, on my personal account, I've been seeing a ton of engagement. The businesses are going to have to work harder. The rules are still the same, I think, but the business is just going to have to work a little harder to make sure that you've identified your audience. And that's what the setting of a Facebook page lets you do. It asks, like, who's your audience, who's your customer. So you really should know who they are. You need to be consistently posting. You should have a schedule, maybe. Oh, not maybe, you should have a schedule. You should post like good stories and really good like photos, things like that. It's nothing that a person would be doing on their personal page. It's just that you're going to have to like work a little harder. Facebook is really wants to be the social media platform of engagement and to show that they are concerned about what's happening out there.
So why would you have to work harder?
Because so Facebook before this all happened, Facebook was really emphasizing like paid ads, boosted ads. Do you know about those? Have you ever done any?
I've been part of it. Yeah.
Good. Did you boost or did you do an ad?
I was with some other people who were doing both.
Okay. Yeah, so they were emphasizing that more, and that was getting onto people's feeds, and people didn't like that. And then there's also like how you have to pay for it. It's pay per click. So it's not less about engagement. It's about that push model I was talking about before. It's like ads again, right? So now Facebook seems to want everyone to engage more, to actually talk to the customers. Like I see that for Facebook pages. I think communities. You can set up a community type of group page or groups. They have a lot more engagement, I've noticed, because they encourage interaction. Where a regular business page like this one, it's not really for interaction. Did you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why if you have a page like this, like I don't really have a group or a community. It doesn't make sense for me to have one, really. I might set one up for I used to have them for my classes at Northeastern, but that was a very defined group. I can't have a group for everybody, like who's like I interact with, you know. So I just noticed that I have to like post a little bit more often. I have to answer questions. I mean, I do that anyway, but it's just I have to work harder for the same reach I had before. And I will talk about those terms, reach and engagement. I haven't, there's a definition for those, but that's all.
But are you saying that the fact that they're using things like Boost less, and therefore, in order to reach the same number of people or more people, you have to do more of the work? That's what I'm not really clear.
I don't think they're using it less. I think that, that's a good point. So they talk about this mysterious, like Facebook, the algorithms, right? And all an algorithm means is what Facebook uses to determine what gets seen. I think if you're going to pay for an ad or a boost, it will get seen. But they also want you to engage, like an ad or a boosted post. Again, it's just a push kind of connection. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And people do engage with it. They click and they probably go to a website or they go to a mailing list or something. I've only set up a few ads. I've worked mostly with realtors about this because they want people to go to their website or they go to a listing or they have a whole special, there are social networks just for realtors. But it's clicking like to buy something. It's not an engagement where you're sharing a story or connecting. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And what I think Facebook is trying to encourage again is like the group, that person-to-person interaction.
More so than
Or
6 months ago.
or as much as, I think. Yeah, and it's hard to quantify because they're not going to tell you. You know, it's just something I've noticed on my Facebook page and then some of my clients. It's where before like a post might get some really good traction. Like a friend of mine is a website designer and she's really good about posting her blog posts, right? Like if she doesn't post a picture, I notice that the engagement goes down.
If she does or doesn't?
Doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't. So she's been very good about like creating her own graphics and posting them. She does not advertise. She doesn't do any kind of ads at all. So and then on this realtor client I have, his ads seem to do well for a while, but that could be the nature of what he's selling too. But I have noticed that when he changes, like he specializes in these 3D drone kind of tours of his houses. When he posts one of those, things go up because it's something that engages people. They can go in and do something. And again, it's hard to like articulate really well. It's something I've observed. So, and that's only that's in the business end of things. Now, on the personal Facebook pages, I've seen a lot of engagement when people post like a video or a meme. Unfortunately, but those are very popular. So, or if they tell us a story and yeah. Does that help?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's all very mysterious on Facebook, but
Do you find a difference? I'm noticing, like even just in my own personal stuff, if I can make it, which is really tough for me, as brief as possible, to be able to put that little background on. I have
Yes.
more friends that look at that one.
yeah, it catches people's
remark
attention. That's a good point.
Versus just doing my story and.
Yes, that's a really good point. I've had to learn to be. I'm a very much a word person, and I've had to learn to be much more graphically oriented. You're right. That's a great example. Does everyone know what she's talking about? So when you start typing a Facebook post, this is on the personal end of things. It's not on like a page like this. You might see you might see like a bunch of little chiclets below with different colors, and you can pick one, and then your post is like white on that color, and it's bold, and it's attention grabbing. Let's see if I can find one for you.
Let's keep me down to that magical number.
Here's one.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just when she started typing that. Then my friend Pat, she's got them options. She picked one, and you see that one, right? That one catches your eye compared to. See, everyone's using pictures now. Then roller skating this Thursday at the CEA cafeteria, right? That's one point right there. So. things are in here that are, you're seeing, since I'm logged in here, and I'm the admin of my page, you're seeing what I see as an admin. So Facebook is very good about helping you. A lot of tips, a lot of help. Oh, look, here's Facebook will automatically promote your business to the right people for the best results. Get up to 3 link clicks for $2 a day. Any other interesting tips or anything? So another thing about a business page or community page, you have 2 opportunities to brand yourself. For someone like me, I think it's important they see what I look like. So where I might put a logo, I put my face, and then here I have my logo. But then this is a nonprofit for which I'm on board. Oh, she changed it. Okay, and I don't manage this. So this foundation helps impoverished people who are in hospice and need assistance with things like heat. So we usually have a story that we have a newsletter and we tell stories about the clients we help, and if they let us use their pictures, we put those in the newsletter and here because it's important to see. Right? So usually we have one of our clients' pictures here, and that is our logo. So to help with branding. Also, business pages often have call to action. So again, because it's a nonprofit, we have a donate button here that links you to our QGive page. We use QGive for our donations. But like for a church, if you want to do a call to action, like donate, you could do whatever. I have a contact me as a call to action on my page. Sally, what do you have on yours? Mind if I look?
Probably nothing. I'm just writing down that I should do
Okay.
that.
I have a book now,
Oh, let's look. What's your?
Georgetown Massage.
So that's right.
Massage, and let's see, Georgetown Massage and Wellness.
Bodywork? Wellness.
Wellness, and that's how I get, somebody kept, it's another issue I have.
This year?
Yes, aesthetics.
Oh,
The other-
the other one? Sorry.
Yeah, I've got multiple pages because I didn't know what I was doing the first time.
Shop now. That's your call to action.
Yeah.
And you have Reader's Choice Award. That's a good use of this space. Do you have a logo?
Not really, well,
Okay.
just Georgetown, yeah, that's,
Yeah. But here, so your business page though has a book now option. Okay, so that's different. That's one of the differences in this page. And people leave you reviews, hopefully. Do they? Yes. No. Okay, so any questions on Facebook? I mean, we're just starting to plumb the depths, but did I answer your question about this? Okay, great. Pinterest. Again, these are like mass bulletin boards. So when you get onto Pinterest, you can create boards. These are my boards, but because and this is a little bit creepy, and Facebook does this too. You ever notice when you're on Facebook and you just come off Amazon, you go to Facebook, and then all of a sudden you're seeing on Amazon like things you looked at on Facebook, things you looked at on Amazon.
yes.
Same with Pinterest. So these are the boards I've set up that I like. And then this is what they call activity stream. The main part of any social media platform where you're looking at posts that from your community. At IBM we call that the activity stream. So this is my activity stream for Pinterest. And because of my boards, it knows now what I'm interested in. So it's feeding me all these little articles of things that I might be interested in, like knitting. I'm interested in knitting. I'm interested in social media. I'm interested in cooking. So I see a lot of that there. So this is again good if you're selling something. People who used to sell things on Etsy. Etsy's an online store. Pinterest now has an online store, so you can be on Pinterest and you can sell your things there. Instagram is very big, and this is not the true Instagram experience. Instagram is a mobile app. But if you're on a Mac, you can actually log in this way and see your Instagram stream. But the whole point of Instagram was for your phone. You take pictures with your phone, click, 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 and then you can, on Instagram, you share them with people. And it's a great way of being on social media without having to interact with people or like deal with idiots, you know, or deal with memes or deal with advertising. Although Instagram, I take that back. Instagram now, I'm seeing more and more ads. Instagram is owned by Facebook, so you can there's a lot you can cross post. So that's one way to. We'll talk about automating or saving your time and sanity later. But if you have an Instagram account and a Facebook account, you can post once to 2 places, and be done.
I think if you could address this either now or later. I understand that with the same hashtag you can
Yes.
get to, and Twitter, there's Instagram.
Yes, you can integrate with Twitter. Yep, Instagram with Twitter.
Talk about hashtags a little later. if you get around
Yes, that comes up in every class I have. People are always interested about hashtags, but yes, thank you for asking. I will talk about. I'll talk about it now. Hashtags came up, really came to prominence with Twitter and with Instagram. And this is not a really good place to see them. Let me bring up Twitter. Okay, that's my Twitter account. Which I actually don't use Twitter that much. I use Twitter, I'm usually a consumer. I'm not really a poster. There's a lot of interesting people that I follow on Twitter, so it's kind of a personal news feed for me. But let's find some good hashtags. Okay, here's one in the X-Files. I wish I could make this bigger. So sometimes, and some of them you have to realize are ironic. They're not actually used for finding things. But so a hashtag is this thing here. Do you see there's the hashtag of the Octothorpe #, we called it, right, on the phone. And then a phrase. In this case, it's X-Files forehead sweat. This one. Oh, this one has a hashtag ONG, OSC. This one has army with, hashtag army with. A hashtag lets you tag a post. It can be on Instagram, it can be on Twitter, or it can be on Facebook. And it's a way of finding content on that platform. So, okay, here's one. Facebook, everybody was using this. Me Too. Remember that? A couple months ago, in November? Me Too. Hashtag Me Too. If you put that into a search bar for any social media, it brings up the top news, the latest posts that are tagged with that hashtag. You want to follow?
Mhm.
Yeah, great. So it's a way of just making sure, especially for feeds like platforms like Twitter, that there's a lot of activity, and it's like trying to find something in the stream is really challenging. In my social media class at Northeastern, we didn't interact in real time, like it was online, but I would schedule just for the novelty and for the experience is tweet chats, which is a real-time conversation on Twitter with my class, and then we needed a hashtag to find each other, right? So you'd have, every time we posted, we'd have to put in these hashtags so we could follow the conversation.
Can I ask? Okay.
No, go ahead.
How likely is anybody to come up with a unique hashtag?
Well, it depends on the specificity, the profanity. You can always check it by doing a search. Like if you want to come up with a hashtag, like like Salisbury TV. You could just enter it and see what comes up. If it's not used, you can use it. It's a little hard. Sometimes the phrases are better. Like "Me Too" it was good because it was kind of like a phrase, you know. Yeah. But something like Social Media Guru. There's a lot of people on that using that already, you know. And it's not really like unique. Like I wouldn't use that. But like
But there's really only, if there's a unique phrase with
Mhm.
that particular spelling and the hashtag,
Mhm.
that is going to be, there's not going to be two of those. There's going to be everybody coming in and out of that hashtag, right? That's
if they
already been
use
written.
that,
Right.
right? Yes, it's only going to be one, and if they use it, it's
Yeah.
for a reason.
I mean, it's not something before hashtag that would make it unique, and there might be 10 of them. It's hashtag this, and that's Instagram.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yes. You're right. Yes. Exactly.
It's helpful.
Yeah. I was gonna say some people use them ironically. Like they just use like you'll see that on Facebook a lot. And I mean, ironically, it doesn't. It just they want to get a snarky thing in, and they just use a hashtag to put it in. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm glad you asked about that though. That comes up in every class. Back to where? So again, Twitter, like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good use case here. Again, something you have to sort of interact with. Like it's like you're having a conversation with one person, but in front of everybody. Where Facebook, you're like talking to a group of people in real time. So, like I said, I'm more of a consumer here. I don't use it. I don't use it for my business. I just like follow people that say interesting things. What's kind of cool about Twitter is you can also, some people create like lists of people they follow, and then you follow that list, and that way it's kind of a digest, which is kind of cool. What else do I have? LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. You got a question about YouTube? YouTube is owned by Google. By the way, but you should also we should look at Vimeo too, because Vimeo is kind of catching up with YouTube. The problem, YouTube's great. I've learned how to do different hairdos and makeup on YouTube. I'm a knitter. I've learned some difficult stitches on YouTube. I'm in a dance troupe. My dance troupe has been on YouTube. A challenge I've noticed though with YouTube, especially like for artists, especially in music and dance, is YouTube is cracking down on intellectual property. My dance troupe had a beautiful. It's very rare where we have a performance opportunity where everything is right, like stage managed well. We were at this place where we had 2 cameras, and it was great lighting, and our costumes looked fabulous. And we got the video, we put it on YouTube, and because one of our songs was deemed like still in play in terms of intellectual property, it was silenced. We didn't know it. They don't tell you. And so we went and watched our performance, and all of a sudden we're moving around to silence. So anyway, it's just something to know that if you're going to be using like music, that's a problem. So a lot of people are going to Vimeo for that, especially a lot of dancers, a lot of artists are going to Vimeo because Vimeo doesn't seem to be as concerned about that. So, but anyway, so YouTube lets you you can have your own channel on YouTube. You can subscribe to other people's channels. There's commenting. Let me find. This is a friend of mine. We won't watch her. She's beautiful. We won't watch her. But you can comment on people's videos. So that's what makes it social, by the way. Is you can engage with people. Although some of the comments are pretty snarky, I have to say sometimes. So YouTube is technically the largest social media platform.
And Vimeo is what, V-I-M-E-O?
Yeah, I'll show you.
I was just wondering how you spell it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I can put a link in the email too if you want. Yeah. Vimeo. And it works like YouTube. You get an account. And they notice though Vimeo wants you to pay. And so you have a lot more restrictions there in terms of what you can upload. YouTube will give you You don't have to pay, it's pretty much free. What they want you to do though is they want you to pay for no commercials. Then they show you all the videos with commercials. Remember, everybody's got to make some money here. So at some point, they're going to come to you and ask you to pay for something. Nothing is entirely free. That's why I tell a lot of my clients too. I see this especially in the dance community that I'm in. Everyone advertises on Facebook. They think they're advertising on Facebook. Yeah, it's free, and yeah, you opted in, but Facebook wants you to advertise, and Facebook has always kind of narrowed down who sees what when you advertise things like events or classes or anything like that. So when you post something on Facebook and you're advertising it like an event, you're only advertising to people that you're friends with, and maybe who they know. So my point of that is Facebook. They all want you to pay for something, and that's legit. They cost money to run all these servers, but it's just there's really no free ride, you know.
If you do want to pay for an ad on Facebook, how much control?
Not belly dancers. That's what I'm talking about. Like I'm a belly dancer, and so
Belly or ballet?
Belly dancers. And no, but this community, they don't want to pay, and so they don't take out ads, or they don't advertise like on a website or anything. But I interrupted you. Sorry, that was my point.
I was just asking about whether you could kind of choose the groups or like in our case, because we're in Salisbury, Massachusetts, there are a bunch of overlapping groups of people that have Facebook accounts. And I'm
Yes.
trying to figure out, can we pay pretty much just to target those groups?
Yes, totally, absolutely.
How would I?
Oh, to set up an ad?
Yes. Yeah.
I won't go through that now because we're going to run out of time. They're going to kick us
Sure.
out. But we could. I'll give everybody 2 questions to follow up with me. How's that? I mean, we can talk about that because it's setting up an ad is not the easiest thing.
No, I know.
Yeah, okay, so
What I do is I've joined groups.
Right.
yes,
I've joined the local groups because I know I'm really gonna have most of my clientele from Georgetown, Groveland, Raleigh, that type of thing. And I know the moderators of the group, so they're okay. So I create an ad that's on my office page,
Mhm.
and then I share it on those pages, and that's where I put my ads.
so you specify the groups that you want to share to, as
Yeah.
opposed to the demographics.
Yes.
Do you pay for the ad? No, okay.
No, I just don't overdo, that's the big thing.
So does everyone know what we mean by groups? Because there's these Facebook. That's a good point. There's Facebook groups, groups of interest, right?
Yeah.
So there might be a church, a group of Greek Orthodox.
Right.
You know what I mean. Because I have a lot of belly dance groups here.
So like Georgetown Massage, Georgetown Mass News, and Georgetown Parents News.
Right,
That's that type of thing.
right,
Um,
right.
Yeah.
Knitters, a lot of knitting groups, a lot of local knitting groups. There's the North Shore Knitting Crawl, right? Yeah, things like that. So, and that I did not know that you could target to a group. I knew you could specify the demographics, which was exhausting.
Right.
Um,
No, all I do is I create my post, and then I
oh,
share.
you're not talking about an ad. You're talking about post.
I-
All right, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the
I
ads.
create a post
Okay.
on my Facebook page, my business page.
Right.
And then I share it
Yes.
to the groups.
Yep.
And that's my ad for the day.
It's not technically an ad though. That's why we're getting confused because they're
Right.
Facebook ads
Okay.
and then there are posts.
Right, but
Right.
it's free.
It's
and
free.
And I'm going to the exact target that I
It
want.
acts like an ad for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It
it's
acts like an
exact
ad. You
target.
hope, right?
Yeah, and I put a call to action, and they can click and follow through.
So let's go. When you say call to action, though, what do you mean?
Book now.
So it is an ad.
I
It's
can
not a
put in-
post.
I put in a book now.
Okay, did you pay for that?
No, I say book now, and I'll tell them how.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, you put a link in.
I put
Okay.
a link in.
Got yes. You can always put a link into your website. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. So Georgetown Parents is everybody. Let's go to that group right now as an example. That's of interest to several people here. This
So
one?
it is Georgetown Mass
So
Parents,
can you say again what you do? You make a post on your Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
then you do
And then
what?
I share it to the groups
the group.
that I'm
Share it
part
to the
of.
group,
I'm personally members of these groups,
right.
and because my business somehow links with who I am, I share it to those groups.
So Georgetown Mass Parents has 2,124 members.
Yep.
And you're a member. I'm not a member. I'm not going to join. But that's enough information right now. So you would create.
One ad, one post
Post.
on my Facebook book.
So I
and
can
then share it there.
right. I can show you how to do that right here. So let's share. So should be able to share to a group. Let's try this. Yeah. You can share to a group. See?
Not really, no.
Did everyone see that? So what I did to share, let's pretend I created this post. This is on my timeline. I did share with the 3 dots, and then share to a group. And it brings up the, then you have to list the group. So I would type Georgetown Parents or
Right.
Knitting Forever or whatever. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
and
then
that
we
puts
go to
post
them,
right.
And then they all see it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. But it's not an ad, it's a post.
It's a post,
Right.
but it works as an ad.
Same,
Right.
same.
And I didn't have to pay for anything.
Right.
Do you check with them to make sure it's okay to do that, or you're just doing it and it's fine? because
That's
you
a good
don't
point,
overdo
because
it?
some groups don't allow, that's a good point though.
So
Some
I
groups-
created Georgetown Mass News, so I could post whatever I wanted. And we've got almost 2,000 members right now on that one.
Haven't heard
I
that
know
one.
I know who the people are for the Groveland Town Crier, and she also takes care of the West Newbury News.
Huh.
It works.
So here's Georgetown Mass News,
Yeah.
which is not a paper, it's just a group.
Right,
Okay. So people can post ads in here. There you go.
yeah, and I say in who we are, that businesses are allowed to post once a week or something like that, not to overdo it.
Yes, right. There you go.
Yeah, so
Join
if
us.
you created your business, if you join the group,
Yeah,
and I'm the moderator, so I would let you in, you do your business and you post it from your page to here.
But it is a moderated thing though. It's
Yeah.
moderated and you're limited. So it is, like,
I verbally limited.
Yep.
If the people start posting too many things, then
Yeah.
the members start going, hey,
right,
or hey, why is this person from,
right.
Southern New Hampshire posting stuff?
Yep.
So,
So there's something for you to join. Okay. I'll put a link to this group I'll join it. And I'll put a link to the group in the email so you can guys. So that is a good way of doing it. Just know that the groups do moderate, like even sale groups. If you know, some Facebook has Marketplace now. So there's sale groups like Belly Dance Costumes, right? We can only post once a week.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but if for free, it works. All right. So that was a whirlwind tour of social media platforms. There are new ones every day. I just heard of one today called Vero, but these kind of are enduring, especially not because Facebook either owns them or Google owns them. So. Let me go back to this. Okay, so I use terms like reach and engagement. These are terms that describe how people interact with what you're posting. Reach is eyeballs on the content. Facebook will tell you, like in your post, how many people it's reached. I mean, it's kind of scary that they know that how many eyeballs were on this, but that's okay, I'll go with it. Engagement, though, involves more activity. Engagement is liking something, commenting, or sharing. And then conversions are what you as business people really want to see. People taking action, booking an appointment, calling you about a interior design, things like that. So I want to go back out to like at a meta level for a minute though so again, I didn't want people to get caught up on the likes and comments. You want to think about managing relationships in social media. You want to think about reciprocity. Engagement's like a two-way street. You want to think about, you don't want to be pushing out to people, but you want to engage and you want to reciprocate. For example, on a business page, you should be liking other similar businesses locally. I like all my clients' pages on my Facebook page. Comment on other people's posts. When people mention your company in social media, let them know you're listening. If it's a question or a positive comment, respond. If it's not, even if it's not positive, like it or favorite it or something, just to let them know that you heard it, you're paying attention. Also look locally for cross-promotion opportunities. You want to look for local organizations with whom your business has a natural affinity. You want to find them and follow them and engage with them. And yes, engage with your competitors. Especially this is more so on LinkedIn and someone on Facebook, but there's a social media consultant who, in Worcester, and she's, what her business model is she's with you all the time. She will do your social media for you. I don't do that. I help you figure out what you want to do, train you to do it, and then take off the training wheels and you don't see me again. Two different models. She's not a direct competitor, but we're similar. But I will follow her, I see what she's doing, and I will refer people to her if that's what they want. So I think it works, a rising tide raises all boats, right? You want to show that you're interested in other people and you want to learn from them, and you're not out to be cutthroat, right? And eventually, their audience becomes your audience, which is kind of cool too. Continuity. It's really important to be consistent and to keep up a cadence in terms of what you're posting. There's nothing sadder. I'm thinking particularly of a local state representative. I went to his Facebook page to see what his office hours were, and it hasn't been updated since 2015. That's really sad. It's really sad. Yeah, it is. That's a good word, sad. So you want to keep a posting at least once a week. I mean, you don't want to do something every day. You can if you want to, but I think once or twice a week is sustainable. And I'll show you how you can even schedule them ahead of time. But you want to just keep a cadence of posting and activity on whatever platform you're on. And lastly, authenticity. Be human. I get a lot of questions too, but about etiquette, and that's good. You should be thoughtful about what you're posting, but you don't want to be robotic about it or afraid. And some organizations do this. Even at IBM, there were some groups I worked with that they want the tweets to be reviewed and edited, and then you get robotic and bland. And don't be afraid to make a bit of a mistake, but be yourself, be human. That's what people are signing on when they engage with you. They want to see who you are. And I really like this one from Barbara Kingsolver. Don't try to figure out what other people want to hear from you. Just figure out what you have to say. Really be yourself. But content is king. It always has been, but even more so now on Facebook. Entertaining content, useful content is better than promotional content. It shouldn't all be about your services, but it should be things that people can take away and use. Like my web designer friend, she will give away tidbits about website management or tips and tricks. I will do that too. Photos and videos, like the 4-H camp. You must have a wealth of great photos and videos you can use. I know you may have constraints because they're children and there's some issues with that.
We do have a channel on YouTube.
Great.
TV. How much gets,
And you can embed YouTube content on Facebook too. Do you have a page for that kid?
We do.
Okay, great. That's another thing too. If you're interested, if you put your business down, I'll put in the email, I'll put links to everyone's Facebook pages, and we can all be good doobies and corporate citizens and like each other's pages. Customer photos. One of my students has had a line of engravable Christmas ornaments, and she had an idea to have a customer I don't even a contest. Just invite customers. They've been buying her, they buy from her from every year. They come back every year, and she's invited them to post pictures of photos of the ornaments on a tree. And that was beautiful. That was all her content for December, you know. You can do promotions and coupons, opinions, ideas, tips, quotes. One of my clients is a clothing manufacturer, Naomi. She has I'll give you these names, and I'll give you my presentation too in the email. Her Instagram account has a lot of great quotes, like meme quotes. You can do special Pinterest boards for projects. This is great, like for event planners, wedding planners. You can ask for customer feedback. So this is all like organic and kind of in the moment, not even in the moment, but in the real content, isn't it? Oh, one thing I want to give you a real quick example, and I will put the link to this in the email too. You may be familiar with this. I know Sally is, because this is a great example in class. Bangor, Maine Police Department. You know about this? They are a great example of breaking all the rules in social media and winning. Sergeant Tim Cotton has been asked to speak at many social media conferences. They have over 200,000 followers. I can't wait. Every Wednesday, got warrants. It's a really popular posting. They're great. He's great. He really puts a face on policing. He talks about people in Bangor. They have a mascot, the Duck of Justice. He just tells stories, and people love it. I love it. He's got a really folksy way of writing. People jibe him about his grammar. People send him grammar books apparently because he doesn't know how to use a semicolon. But anyway, but the point is he's real. And it's, like I said, it's winning. So I will put a link to that in the email too, because it's worth taking a look at. He's just really great. And then I wanted to talk about calls to action, and this I think will help again in the business postings too, even if you don't want to take an ad. Oops, sorry. But action words like these kind of get people's attention, and kind of help them. You help direct them how you want them to respond or what things you want them to do. Another good way to generate content is to think in terms of series, like photos of the day. I'm working with a client now. They own a coach, like a personal coaching training service, and her husband, she's the coach, but her husband has a quote of the day, and I'm working with him to maybe jazz him up a little bit, and I can talk about that in a little bit. Interviews, that works for you. A calendar of some kind. My web designer friend has she'll point out that it's National Chocolate Day or something like that. She follows this kind of odd little holidays.
I get a newsletter from an auto parts company, and they give you a trivia question every month, and that's always something I look forward to. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you kind of tailor it to, what your group is, and it's just a little interactive thing you can do, and it gets you engaged.
And it's not about their business. It's just like
No.
something fun to do.
Yeah, it's usually an automotive thing, question, but not specifically about the business, but it's in that vein.
Mhm.
And it's just something I look forward to every month, that trivia question.
Yeah.
If you can get it right or whatever.
Great example.
Yeah.
Great example. So again, in terms of being very specific about engaging, you should be liking other business pages, sharing events, sharing posts or photos that you like and think that are relevant, like and comment other people's posts, tag people, businesses, and events too. Because by tagging and liking and commenting, these are all helping your post or your action appear in other people's timelines. It raises your visibility on Facebook.
Okay, question.
Oh,
So
sure.
when I tag, Am I tagging as Sue Daigle or am I tagging as Georgetown Massage?
You get to pick that. So, can I come back to that real quickly?
Yeah.
Because that is a function too, though, of how you are on Facebook. So I have my Amy Smith account, but I manage Friends of the Library, I manage my business page, I manage my troop page. So because they're all linked, when I want to post, I get an option of what I want to post as, or what I want to like it as, or if I want to share it. Do I want to share it as Origins, my troop? Do I want to share it as Social Media Smith or Amy Smith? So it's but if you've separated your business from
Yeah,
your personal page, then you only have a choice.
okay,
But I can show you that later if you want.
okay.
As a small business person or nonprofit, it's like you wear a lot of hats, so keeping up with it can make you crazy. Real quickly, an editorial calendar, it sounds like a lofty thing. I mean, I just use, and I have like 6 active clients right now. I just use one of those desk calendars, because I have to write it down, and I just write down the day what's happening. Like I have to change this person's banner page, or I have to send out this newsletter. But you could do that online. The point is, make a plan. So you want to keep your 4-H parents engaged. Maybe you want to think about it when the kids go home in August or whatever. What are you going to do in September? What are you going to do in October? Just to keep people engaged. And just, it helps to think ahead and have a plan. And that will trigger like maybe more ideas. But at least you'll know you'll be doing something. Are you all familiar with the scheduling features of Facebook? So if I want to do
Every time you hit the F there, what was the same thing that happened?
sorry, what?
You hit the F for Facebook.
F refreshes.
Okay.
F refreshes it, and it refreshes it, and then I need to see where I was, or I start from one place. I don't know, but I was. Yeah, just hitting F just refreshes the feed. But I wanted to go to a page because I want to show you. You can only schedule posts on a business page. You can't. Unfortunately, you can't do it on a personal page because then I remember everyone's birthdays and time. So let me write something to be scheduled. Okay. So you see this down, that arrow here? I can schedule that. So I've created my editorial calendar for like the week, say, and I know I want to post these things. I can go to my page and, well actually I can show you, right now I have a bunch scheduled on another page. I run this page called Belly Dance New England. It's for, we have quite the active community here in New England. Yeah, someone read this page. So we're fast enough for me. But somewhere here, it should say I have a few, maybe they're not scheduled anymore. I had a minion helping me with my posts. That's the best thing, if you can get minions, it's great. Oh, I guess they're all posted. No, I had a college kid helping me, but she scheduled posts.
I'm thinking it's like this little new robot. Yeah, I don't know.
No, sorry, that would be great. No, I meant like a real minion.
Oh, okay.
But see, like these event posts, like Cafe Rocks and this stuff. These were all scheduled. Gwen had scheduled these for me. What happened? So she went in at the beginning of last week and took these, and she created them all last week, and they pop up on the day they're supposed to, like that. So it was great. Yes, but so that's so you can go in and just, if you know what you're going to post, schedule. Doesn't mean she'll be checking your page to see if somebody's interacting with you or asking a question, but at least the content is scheduled and you don't have to think about it. You can also do something similar with Hootsuite. Hootsuite and Buffer are social media scheduling tools. You can automate a lot there. Hootsuite is free up for a couple of channels. You can also automate by doing things by posting like to Instagram and to Facebook, right? Or Twitter and Instagram. We don't have time right now, but you can ask me a question. I can send you a link if you're interested. Or I can show you on the phone, but how to hook up have Instagram in your Facebook, or Twitter and Instagram. But what that means is, so if Instagram is integrated with Facebook, that means when I post something to my Instagram account, it will appear on my Facebook account. Posting for free. Right. So the more things like that you can do, the better. Right. And I will wind this up, and then we can ask some more specific questions. So again, think about engagement, not one-way communication. Sorry, that's my closing. Make time for your social media engagement. You don't need to be on every platform. Pick the ones you like, ones that work for your business. It's not about the numbers, the likes, or the number of followers. It's about engagement and conversation and participation. And we didn't talk about analytics, but measure what matters. That's varsity level stuff that I talk about in my class. But it's you can you can track your metrics. That's a way of seeing what's working or not. But I didn't want to get into metrics tonight because that's a whole other class. And then, yeah, don't worry, you got it. So questions? Yes.
Is there a relationship between likes and following and tagging?
Yeah, let me show you what's So here's a post. This says 60 people reached. Okay, the reach is just people who looked at this. They didn't do anything; they just saw it.
Okay.
One person liked it. By the way, this is a business page. It was I'm kind of sad to show you this because it used to be I would easily get at least 10 or 15 likes. So I'm seeing a downturn in my likes too. Anyway, or my engagement. So Marianne liked it. Yay, Marianne. So in terms of relationship, Marianne may have seen it reached her, then she liked it, right? Now tagging, this is what? So when did that tagged it? This is an event that we shared. Manuela is an advertiser of mine, and she tagged her event here. So it says Belly Dance New England shared Manuela's event.
And she sent it to your group, that's how it got here.
No, it happened. She didn't send it. So we went out and got Manuela's event. She pays me as an advertiser. That's part of the service I give her. So we took the event and we shared it on our page.
Okay.
But in doing so, that tagged her event here. That's what I mean by tagged.
Right.
See that? If you were to click on this, that would take you to the event
Okay.
over on Manuela's page.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's see how the visibility is working.
So how do you do that?
I'll show you. There must be an event I have to share. But it's not really a relationship. It's just these are the different actions on a post that you would see.
Right.
So
it's a post, if you see it and you like it, that's tagging it, isn't it?
no, that's
Oh,
tagging it. Is you add somebody's name.
okay.
And you hyperlink it, basically. It does it automatically.
The
It
sh-
takes you to their.
Yes, the sharing puts a link back. That's a link right there. That's a very good analogy.
So sharing.
Sharing,
So
yes.
that's not tagging?
Sharing does create a tag, yes.
So I think if I understand it, so I go to your page and I like it and I share it. And my best friend sees what I've done and they click on the link from his page. Is that how he's tagged?
No, I don't
The
think.
event
that's
is
tagged.
the event
The
is
event
tagged.
is tagged.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me share. I'm going to share this event. Okay?
Belly dance in one,
Pardon?
the belly dance.
Yeah. It's about, yeah, I'm going to share it on my page. Yes. Sometimes the
Got your
events
attention.
don't let you, though. This depends on, he's not an advertiser of mine. Let me try something else. Let's see if she'll let me. Okay. I'll say I'm interested. So I'm going to share. They're always changing. I'll share his post. Okay, I'm sharing his post. Journey through Egypt. So now this is a post. Now see, I'm not going to share my timeline. I'm going to share it on my page. Because Aurel, the woman who's hosting this, is an advertiser. So share on a page you manage. Can you see that? All right, so I'm going to pick, these are all the pages I manage. Life of a social media person. All right, here's Belly Dance New England. So I'm sharing to the page Belly Dance New England, and I'm posting as Belly Dance New England. Don't miss the fabulous. Okay, now I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna tag somebody. So I'll tag the dancer, Sarah.
It's with the @ sign. Is that the crucial difference?
Yes, that's tagging. Sorry, I'm sorry. See, I assumed everyone knew that. When you want to tag somebody, you use the @ sign. And
What sign?
the @
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna tag Sarah. She's a teacher. Sarah, she's a friend of mine. Anyway, Sarah's the account. Ancient Art Studios, although they have a page, Ancient Art Studio, next month. Okay. So I tagged twice. I tagged the teacher, they're bringing her in. I tagged the studio, and I'm sharing the event. I'm going to post that. I hope Gwen didn't post this already. Okay, now if we go to my page. There it is. Okay, I shared Ancient Art Studios event. That's another tag because I shared the event. It's tagged twice.
Is that video or just still?
That's a still. So that's how you do it. Another tip for you, by the way, I do this, I recommend this to people who have business pages. I change this banner page every month. Your business may not adapt itself for that, but mine does. So I use myself here as the logo. And then because I advertise teachers, regional teachers, I like to promote them. And so the Scholar-She's in Connecticut. What's cool is I notice I change this every month, and then I tag them, and then the teacher tags the students, and then the students say, hey, look, we're on the cover of Belly Dance New England. So that's another good way to get engagement and change it. Changing anything on your page always bumps up your visibility.
What is it you're changing, you said?
I'm changing this banner page here. Yeah, it's called, see that change cover? Well, really quickly, and I will send you a link to this. I'm going to start the email around. I'll send my cards around too. Like I said, everyone gets two questions. I have yours, you don't have to. I want to take a card and have it. This is Save My Keister. I'm on canva.com. It's free. You can create it gives you templates for memes.
What's
Like
it called?
Canva, and I'll send you a link in the email.
Oh,
It gives you instead of worrying about, people worry about, oh, what should the DPI be for a banner, what should be the relationship or the measurements. The template's right here. I just create a Facebook cover. You can pick backgrounds, text. A lot of it's free. Sometimes you want to pay for special effects. I upload photos and put it in there. And I'm not a graphical person, I'm a word person, but this has really helped me a lot, Canva. So it's a great resource.
How do you get it from there to
Oh,
Facebook page?
I'll show you. Here's the flyer I created, and you just download.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I'll put a link to that too in the email, because then because again, if the requirement to be more engaging and have really crisp content and graphics, it was killing me. But Canva really helped a lot. I'll also put a link in the email to where you can get really good stock images for free. It's called Creative Commons. These are artists and graphic artists who make their content available for free. And you can do a search on that and get some really good stock images, and that helps a lot. Any other
By
questions?
the way, speaking of creative, we have downloaded all sorts of music in different ways.
Yes,
right?
music.
Directly from you.
Yes,
Creative Commons have
yep,
that as well?
they do, they do. They even have Middle Eastern music. But yeah, no, a lot of artists have done like versions of music and open up, but yes, so yes, you can get music there. There you go, I can tell that's something useful there. Yes.
So how do people get a hold of you?
You can reach me at thesocialmediasmith.com or info@thesocialmediasmith.
Here comes the card.
Yeah, well, the TV done,
So you
says
can put on the.
1,300 people out there.
Right. Nope. Thesocialmediasmith.com.
Okay,
Thank you. Any other questions? Well, like I said, if you think of any after you leave, like I said, get 2 for coming. Email me, and like I said, I will follow up with an email with some things we talked about and links to some things we talked about as well. Great.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.